Hello, my name is Brittany Fuller and I'm the president of Acceptance Consulting Company. Our team of educated and experienced individuals have worked very hard to create the following recommendations for the admissions department at the University of West Georgia. Have you ever been scared to apply for college because of the process? Well, the admissions department at the University of West Georgia strives on making this process easy and seamless. During this presentation, we will introduce you to our team of consultants and provide background information for our company. Then we will discuss specific areas where the admissions department at the University of West Georgia needs improvement. This will lead into internal and external communication strategies, currently and potential. Finally, we'll present our recommendations for the admissions department. These recommendations are made to strengthen long-term image, retention for current students, and enhance internal and external communication. And next, I will be introducing you to our team.
Next, you have Tyler Harris, who is the Chief Information Officer at Acceptance Consulting Company. From the University of West Georgia, he has his MIS. He's worked at Acceptance for 6 years. And prior to, he's worked for Coca-Cola as the Chief Information Officer for 5 years. Moving forward to our next consultant, Joseph Williams, who is the Chief Technology Officer for Acceptance Consulting Company. He has an MBA in Marketing and a Master's in Information Technology from the University of West Georgia. He's worked for Acceptance for 10 years, and previous work, he's worked for Coca-Cola as an Information Technology Specialist for 6 years. Our next consultant is Caleb Bohannon. He's currently the Chief Financial Officer at Acceptance Consulting Company. He has an MBA in Business Management and a Master's in Finance from the University of West Georgia. He's currently been working at Acceptance for 10 years. In his previous work, he's worked at Audi as a financial planner for 8 years. Next, you have Brittany Fuller, who is currently the president of Acceptance Consulting Company. She has her MBA in Business Management, Master's in Finance, and Doctorate in Business Management from the University of West Georgia. She's currently been working at Acceptance for 15 years. Her prior work, she's worked at Delta as a Senior Business Analyst for 7 years.
Thank you, Brittany, for introducing the rest of the team. Now I will introduce you. This is Brittany Wabara. She is our Vice President / COO. Her highest degree of education is going to be a Master's in Business Management from the University of West Georgia. She has been with Acceptance Consulting Company for 14 years, and she has also worked with IBM for 5 years as a senior manager. Now we will pass it over to Tyler to present background and company values.
Hello, my name is Tyler Harris. I am the Chief Information Officer here at Acceptance Consulting. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of our company background, where we came from, and some of the values we have built here over time. Our company was established in 1985 by a group of friends that wanted to make a company that could reinvent the way consulting was done, but also keep some of those traditions as well. We came up with the goal of wanting our clients to know that we could put them in the right direction for their future while following procedures and policies. We wanted to reinvent but keep those same traditions were the two key elements behind the establishment of Acceptance Consulting. But these values we have here today keeps it running. Here at Acceptance Consulting, we want everyone to feel welcome as we work together to make sure each and every need is satisfied. We do this by having honesty and being trustworthy of our clients, giving 100% effort with our clients, especially with communication. We go out our way to contact our clients first before they have to contact us. This is a major value for us because we know that communication is the key to running a great establishment. With these values, this helps us run a company made for the people. Here at Acceptance Consulting, we stand on everyone being accepted. I will be handing it over to our president here at Acceptance Consulting, Brittany Fuller.
Thank you. Now to discuss the statement of need for the admissions department at UWG. Hi everyone. If you think about it, the admissions department is one of the most important departments. Well, it really is the most important department when it comes to a university or a college. It's pretty exciting when you think about how the admissions department, they're the ones who decide who can be in, who's going to get accepted, who's not, for what reason, or what you need to work on to get into the college. The admissions department is fundamental for freshmen, transfer students, transient students, non-degree seeking, Hispanic and Latino, adult learners, former students, military, international. All of these students, they are responsible for whenever they come in. The admissions department, they serve as the University of West Georgia's first point in contact when applying for continuing education. The admissions department, when you think about it, is the place to go for any questions regarding the application process, how to finish, what to submit, what not to submit. Now, despite all of the departments winning awards such as the Recognition Program and the Best of the West Employee Award, there are still areas that need improvement. And a few of these areas are like long-term image, retention for students, and internal and external communication. Now, when it comes to long-term image, we have worked tirelessly to come up with how we can rebrand them, how we can change the logo, how we can do events to show everybody that we changed the logo, because you can just change a logo, but it's not really going to do much if you don't show it, if you don't let students know. Now, as far as the retention for current students are the most important whenever it comes to college. They're already in your school. They're already experiencing what is going on. So if you don't reach out to them first and then go from there, what else do you have to do? So that's one of the most important, is the retention for current students. Now, as far as internal and external communication, our company has come up with Wolf-Faced and Wolf-Aid. Wolf-Faced is for the departments who have personal info sessions with parents, current students, potential students, any type of student that you can think of. We are going to require them to have an appointment, because when you have appointments, they're more likely to show up because they're responsible for that appointment. So you have these personal info sessions with all of these different types of students, or not even students, just parents, to discuss what the process is, what are the next steps, what happens when they actually get enrolled into the college. So that's definitely going to boost morale and boost how people approach the admissions department. A lot of students don't think of the admissions department as being very important, and they think of them as not being nice all the time. So that would definitely help. Now, as far as the external or any other types of communications, we also tried to implement the Wolf-Aid part of things. And Wolf-Aid is, we hire a set amount of students to not only just reach out in email, phone, all of the regular ways, but also reach out in social media, answer questions as soon as possible, have these people work a regular job with the University of West Georgia to do all these things, because the more communication, the more replies, the more answers, the more questions that you can answer, the better it will be for the department. Here are the projected results for the admissions department at the University of West Georgia. This shows how Acceptance Consulting will be able to boost every setback or issue the department has. Here shows a survey our company conducted that shows the different cultures at the University of West Georgia and how they are affected by the admissions department. This concludes the Statement of Needs section. I will now pass it on over to Brittany to present the internal and external communications.
Thank you. Now I'll discuss the internal and external communications within the UWG admissions department. For the internal communications for the UWG admissions department, the most used forms of communications are by phone, email, and face-to-face, which are all great and effective ways to communicate. Face-to-face has been ranked the highest form of communications within the department, being ranked at 51%. This is a great way to discuss confidential information and have a better understanding of the message being relayed or received. Next is email, which was ranked at 31%. Email is a great form of communication due to you can send an email at any time and a person can check it at their own convenience, and you're always able to go back and reference to the message that was sent or received. Last but not least, and the least ranked form of communication within the department is by phone. Usually they have messages automatic and generated for everyone to hear, and sometimes people aren't able to come to the phone right away. So by phone has been ranked the least form of communication within the department. And next we'll have Joseph Williams explain the external communications for the UWG admissions department.
I think the long-term potentials for Acceptance Consulting Company will be expanding the growth and success of the admissions department, and I think we'll be doing that through external communication, internal communication, just changing the game with how we communicate to our students, our upcoming students, and just by using new forms of communication through social media and through text, and just really getting the message out there. So I think long term it'll be more hands on deck than any other department. It'll just be a faster, easier way to communicate with students to really get the message out there, so they can it'll help the admissions program. People are not on email as much. It says that through charts, graphs, you can see that people are not on emails as much. People are more likely on social media and text. So that's one thing we're trying to improve through the use of our use of external communication, and we are it's one of the strengths we will use is just with social media is making it more efficient and quicker way of getting the message to students and upcoming students, and instead of being face to face, and it will just help the admissions department grow ultimately and get more people interested.
I'm the CFO of Acceptance Consulting Company, and I'm here today to talk to you about our recommendations for the admissions department moving forward. Our first goal is to try and improve the long-term image of the admissions department. We found a great way to do this would be to establish an attire for students versus regular employees. This could look in the form of different colored polo shirts or something of that nature. It just helps show the students how involved the admissions department is in student employment, and also differentiates between the two. I found that it's easier for college students to talk to other college students. So if it's easy to identify if one's a college student or one is a faculty member, it will improve the student engagement overall of the admissions department. Another way we also found to do that is to kind of make some more presentable and fun displays. This changed the overall morale and mood of how current students and potential students see the department. We want to ensure professionalism but a fun environment. It's much more engaging and encourages engagement when we have a fun environment for students and potential students, especially for the admissions department, which is kind of a gateway to the university itself. Our next real goal for the admissions department would to be improve retention of current students. A way we found this is a program called Wolf Aid that reaches out to current students to get them involved, become student employees, and to make the department more approachable. What this system essentially will do is it requires a department to employ at least 3 students to solely communicate with current students. So that's checking in, seeing how classes are going, if they're thinking about transferring, anything like that, just to make sure that we're retaining our current students, because that's very important for the admissions department and the university. We'll also be allowed to meet with department heads discussing the ideas and address concerns, and that's something that the admissions department can set up to kind of really empower students and just achieve the goals of the university, which is to retain students and graduate students, and kind of put the best product of student they have out to the workforce. Our last recommendation is for the admissions department to improve its internal and external communication. The way we found to do this is we came up with a program called Wolf Faced, which would allow potential, current, and dropout students to have a face-to-face visit with the admissions department, to give suggestions and learn about other opportunities that the department offers. So for current students, that would be making sure everything's going great, they're keeping their grades up, not in danger of any academic probation, anything like that. For dropout students, that could be readmission or job opportunities at the university. And then also for potential students, that's admissions and the requirements that go with that. So a great way to kind of implement this and make it more personal would be to require that an appointment be set up instead of just walking in. It makes it more personal, and that way you have a dedicated amount of time, so that, say, a student walks in right before lunch and the employee's trying to go to lunch and then they end up being rushed. We want to make sure that student voices are heard. Another way would be to kind of improve the social media platforms. So that could be in the form of redesigning the social media sites to appear more appealing for current students and potential students, and providing more communication. So about events, deadlines, anything like that coming up. Another important thing would be a website restructure. So redesigning and restructuring the website to make it more user-friendly, adding small surveys to ask how we could do better. That's an important thing, is feedback from students and from the people using our website, see how we can do better. A website in this day of computers and social media, having a good website and a good social media is huge. If you're not very good at those things, it's not going to want to make people come to your university. It's just a fact of how it is. And even add like small games or something like that, something to just encourage engagement with the website and improve kind of the students' experience they have on the website. Hello, everyone. Caleb Bohannon again. I just wanted to close out our presentation. So, in conclusion, we really feel like Acceptance is the right company for the job. We really feel like our plan can take the admissions department to the next level. And our company is very interested in this project, as we're all University of West Georgia students. We really want to see it thrive and other students have access to the education that we've gotten. Just to go over our main points, we feel like this can be by improving the long-term image of the admissions department, improving student retention, and also by improving the internal and external communication that the admissions department has. It's really a great example of this. It's really important to me personally, because I've transferred. This is my 3rd school I've been to, and it's been a great university. It's somewhere I wish I'd started out at. It's a large school, so you get the large school feel, but you get a small school education, one-on-one access to professors. The people here really care. You're not just a number, and they're not just here for your money. The admissions department as well. They want students to come there, but they also want the right students. So, we really feel like this is something that's really important for the admissions department to follow through with, is this plan we've come up for them. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Any questions?
We have a question that says, how much time and or effort will be needed to put the recommendations in place? And that's a good question. I believe it will take some time and a lot of effort to get these recommendations in place, such as improving communications and improving our long-term image. I don't think that these are hard things to do to accomplish, but I feel like we just need support. With support behind us, I feel that we can start seeing changes within a year, maybe 2 years from now. With 100% effort and a little support, our recommendations can be put in place today, this year, and start to grow. So the faster we get our recommendations out there, and the more support we begin to grow, the faster we see changes take place.
The first question that we have is, why do you believe your recommendations of Wolf Aid and Wolf Faced will increase our student/member relations? Well, since Wolf Faced is a program that will allow current students, parents, potential students, international students, and so on and so forth to make appointments for one-on-one sessions with the staff and admissions department. This will allow personal info sessions that will not only boost the confidence, but it will also boost the morale in the department. Now, Wolf Aid allows questions to be answered on social media platforms on a regular basis, which in turn makes students more comfortable with approaching the department, and will also make the students feel like the department cares.
With growth comes risk. One risk I would say is adapting to the change of a growing student involvement and clientele involvement with the admissions office. Sometimes it'll be unusual to the different changes and you're not used to it, but you'll become used to it and you'll be happy with the results of a growing student involvement and clientele involvement. You will have to put in place programs to accommodate all students and all clienteles to have a better effective way of communication.
Acceptance Consulting Company is a great service to use for business departments around because we plan to increase the messaging and expand the growth ultimately of the admissions department in West Georgia just through use of new messaging and social media. It's just going to really be hands on deck and just getting to it through in a new way that most admissions departments don't do. This new method is to help students really see the what all West Georgia has to offer, and to get them to really see the admissions department for what it is, and the use of technology by college students is through the roof.
So a great question we had was, what do we believe the long-term potential of the admissions department is compared to other departments or other organizations we looked at? We believe it has a lot of long-term potential, and that's kind of one of the things we wanted to address is the long-term image, student retention, and all those other parts we talked about in our presentation. We want to make sure that the admissions department and really the university as the admissions department is the gateway for the university stays relevant, is continually improving, maybe not reinventing itself, but kind of shifting with the times as time change, as technology changes. We want to be sure that the university and the admissions department is on the cutting edge of that. We want students to come here to get a great education and experience. Thank you.